In this video, we're going to take a look at some pre-flop ICM spots as played by some of the best players in the world. Hey, how's it going? My name's Gareth James for MTT Poker School. Today I'm going to take a look at some pre-flop ICM spots from a recent stacked 10K final table featuring players like Daniel Dvoress, Samuel Vousden and Matthias Eibinger. In this first spot then, we see Kimok open pocket eights from under the gun +1 and Simon1471, aka Simon Higgins, shoves for 23 big blinds with ace-queen suited and Kimok makes the call. Now, I don't think this is going to be a profitable call from Kimok with 8s here, and it probably needs to be 9s or 10s plus, maybe even jacks. So let's take a look at an HRC and find out. So I've given Kimok an opening range here of 14.9%. Let me know in the comments what you think about this range. Is it too tight or too wide for this situation? So against that range, Higgins can shove 5.7% of hands, and that includes hands like jacks plus, ace king off, ace queen suited, king queen suited, hands like that. Now you can see that there are some hands that it wants to shove a little bit of the time. I think in practice, these hands just won't get shoved. Now against this range, Kimok can only call jacks plus and ace king. So I think it's worth us actually changing Higgins's range here to be more reflective of what he could actually shove. So something that looks more like this, maybe we could add pocket nines as well. And we click OK, and then we'll run this once again. And so against that range, Kimok can actually only call pocket queens plus, and pocket eights is losing a considerable amount of equity and dollars. $11,242 to be precise. So this calling range may come as a bit of a surprise, and I think that we definitely can go wider in this spot if we think that Higgins isn't shoving aces and kings. If he's flooding those hands instead, then our calling range will become wider. So let's take aces and kings out of this range and run the simulation once again. Now with those hands removed, you can see that ace-jack suited, pocket 10s and pocket 9s are now no longer profitable to go ahead and 3-bet jam here. So Higgins does need aces and kings in his range in order to shove as wide as HRC suggests. Against this range, then all of a sudden we can call with jacks plus, or Kimok can call with jacks plus and ace king, and I think this is probably somewhat more realistic to what is happening in practice and the calling range that he should have in this spot. Once again though, pocket eights is going to be a losing call, this time only losing $9,000. In this next spot then, we see 2607-1985, aka Christoph Vogelsang, shove pocket aces of just over 5 big blinds from under the gun +1, and Wushu TM, aka Thomas Muirlocker, calls with king deuce of diamonds. Now at first glance this looks pretty marginal, so let's see what the solver says. So I don't think you need me to tell you that pocket aces is going to be a very, very profitable jam in this spot, but this is what Vogelsang's range is going to look like in this situation, or at least what HRC believes he can profitably shove. So Wushu can call 42.2% of hands here, but if we take a look, we can see that many of these hands are very, very marginal. If we just hover over king deuce suited here, we can see that it's worth 0.01% equity and only $109. Now, considering the buy-in for this tournament was $10,000 and there's over $200,000 for first place, this does seem pretty marginal, but probably not a mistake. In this next spot, I Am Best 2, aka Matthias Eibinger, opens to 2.1x with 9-8 suited from the hijack. Higgins jams for 23 big blinds with pocket jacks, and Raidalot, aka Talal Shakurchi, rejams with pocket tens. Now I wanted to analyse this hand because Shakurchi is risking a lot of big blinds through Wushu in the big blind and the original raiser I Am Best, so I'd like to see just how tight he needs to go. Maybe tens is a call or a rejam here, but where does it sit in his entire range? So for this spot, I've gone for an opening range for Eibinger of 22.3%. Again, in the comments, let me know what you think about this range. Is it too tight or too loose? There are a couple of sub 20 big blind stacks behind, so I think this is pretty reasonable. Against this range, Higgins can go ahead and shove 8% of hands, which includes 10s plus, ace queen off, ace 10 suited, king jack suited, and some other suited aces, although many of these are very, very marginal. Against this range, we can see that Shakurchi can actually only get it in here with jacks plus and ace king. So pocket tens is losing just a little bit here, $1,424 or 0.17% of tournament equity. I do think it's important to adjust Higgins' range here because I don't think he's going to be shoving some of these more marginal hands down here. So I'm going to get rid of those for now. And I'm going to add in pocket nines too, hit OK, and we'll run this spot again. So now you can see against that stronger range that Shakurchi can only get it in with queens plus and ace king this time. Pocket jacks and pocket tens both going to be losing calls in this spot. In this final spot then, it folds to Wushu on the button with king 6 suited, and he shoves, and then Kimok calls with king 10 suited in the small blind. King 6 suited, I'm sure, will be close to the bottom of Wushu's shoving range here, but I really don't think king 10 suited is going to be a call. But let's take a look. So as we can see, Wushu can shove 32.5% of hands here, and king 6 suited, whilst marginal, does make it into that range. King 10 suited, on the other hand, doesn't make it into the small blind's get-in range here, which is just pocket 5s plus, ace 9 off plus, ace 7 suited plus, and king queen suited. King 10 suited is losing about 0.09% of the prize pool, roughly equivalent to $735. Okay, that's going to wrap things up for this analysis. Make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll be back very soon with a brand new video, but until then, maybe check out some of these videos right here. I've been Gareth James, you've been watching MTT Poker School. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.